quantum key distribution promises an absolute guarantee. By relying on the laws of quantum mechanics, the mathematics dictate that a key is unconditionally secure, and its integrity cannot be shattered, even by an adversary with infinite computational power. But these proofs rely on an idealized model. The math requires the hardware running these protocols to be a perfectly sealed, impenetrable black box. A 2020 paper by Garcia Escartin, Sajid, and Makarov demonstrates a severe physical oversight in this model. The necessary cooling vents built into the hardware casing create a direct, unmonitored optical side channel. An elegant theoretical proof offers zero protection if the sheet metal holding the components allows stray, classical light to directly manipulate the quantum state inside. Historically, hardware engineers haven't prioritized optical isolation because standard electronic components are largely insensitive to light. This oversight has caused critical physical failures before. In 1997, at the Haddam Neck nuclear power plant, a massive industrial complex, a simple camera flash penetrated a control cabinet and struck an exposed memory chip. The light accidentally triggered the facility's halon fire suppression system. A modern equivalent is the xenon death flash, a specific exposed power supply component on a popular commercial single-board computer caused the entire system to crash when hit by intense light. Light injection can also be actively weaponized. Attackers have historically used specialized light wands to flood the optical sensors inside casino slot machines, blinding the hardware above the coin return slots to force continuous payouts. Despite these physical realities, modern cryptographic infrastructure often sits in highly exposed environments. Secure servers are routinely mounted in ventilated server chassis with direct line of sight to glass doors, windows, and chaotic ambient room lighting. A stray flash might cause a classical system to temporarily reboot, but injecting just a few targeted photons into a quantum system quietly and permanently breaks its core encryption. Take the Clavis 2 plug-and-play QKD platform. To function correctly, its sensitive single-photon detectors require significant cooling, forcing the manufacturer to build ventilation grates directly into the outer casing. Situated immediately behind these grates is the delay line, a 10.5-kilometer spool of optical fiber, protected only by a thin layer of plastic wrapping. In standard step-index optical fibers, light isn't perfectly contained. Reversible loss mechanisms like Rayleigh scattering and macrobending allow a fraction of the photons traveling inside the core to leak outward into the surrounding cladding and escape. The researchers realized this physical process works in reverse. By firing a collimated laser beam tangentially at the spool through the ventilation grate, external photons exploit those same macro bends, successfully coupling into the core's guided modes. The system's thermal cooling vents operate as unmonitored fiber optic injection ports, completely bypassing the idealized boundaries established in the mathematical security proofs. Hardware designers are aware of light-based infiltration. Standard Trojan horse attacks attempt to probe a system by sending light down the main fiber channel. Engineers block these attacks using dedicated optical monitors and wavelength filters positioned precisely at the expected channel input. This diagram outlines the legitimate optical pathway inside Alice's machine. Light enters through the input coupler, travels through the delay line, hits the phase modulator, and bounces off the Faraday mirror. Because the physical attack enters through the side vents, the malicious light originates mid-circuit at the delay line. The external photons entirely circumvent the input coupler and all of its defensive monitoring equipment. These injected photons continue down the path to the active phase modulator, absorbing Alice's secret phase encoding and rebounding off the Faraday mirror. Carrying the secret phase data, the hijacked photons exit the system from the inside out, bleeding into the public outgoing optical channel alongside the legitimate transmission. By injecting light past the security checkpoints, an attacker continuously reads the secret quantum state without ever interacting with the legitimate single photons, completely avoiding the quantum observer effect. In initial physical trials, researchers aimed a 17.2 milliwatt continuous wave laser at the fiber spool. This low-power baseline successfully injected an average of 0.003 photons per 20 nanosecond detection window. Scaling this up to a realistic threat model, an attacker using a commercially available 4-watt pulsed laser, delivering 4 microjoules per pulse, forces a substantial number of external photons directly into the target window. QKD protocols rely on a strict mathematical variable known as mu, the optimized mean photon number per pulse. The injected light artificially inflates this value, creating a compromised state where the actual output is mu plus the external photons. This graph plots the secure key rate on the y-axis against transmission distance on the x-axis. Under the SARG-04 protocol, the solid line represents the standard expected secure key rate, where the legitimate users share more mutual information than any potential eavesdropper. As the external laser power increases, the dashed lines show the actual compromised key rate. The influx of external photons provides the eavesdropper with so much copied phase data that their mutual information overtakes the legitimate users. For transmission distances in the 60 to 100 kilometer range, the increased external photon count drives the actual secure key rate to absolute zero. Because the software monitors are unaware of the physical light injection, Alice and Bob continue communicating. They generate and use keys, blind to the fact that their encryption has been completely nullified. This physical vulnerability extends beyond key distribution. It actively compromises quantum random number generators, which rely on single photon measurements to produce perfectly unpredictable data. This schematic shows a prototype quantum random number generator. An LED emits light through a precise pinhole, striking a 50-50 beam splitter that divides the photons evenly between two photomultiplier tube detectors. The entire optical assembly is housed inside a standard metal nuclear instrumentation module, cooled by a series of top-facing ventilation holes. In laboratory testing, researchers aimed a standard handheld LED flashlight through the top grates. The external light bounced off the internal casing, bypassed the pinhole alignment entirely, and flooded the second detector. This photon saturation overwhelmed the detector, forcing the resulting bit sequence to output a heavy bias of over 80% ones. This intense skew in the data causes the output sequence to immediately fail standardized cryptographic randomness checks, like the FIPS 142 test suite. The internal quantum mechanics of the device are functioning exactly as intended, but because the physical optical pathways are exposed to the room, classical light dictates the final output. To secure quantum systems in the real world, the physical architecture enclosing the hardware must be engineered with the same exact rigor as the mathematical equations running on the chips. The required engineering fixes are strictly physical. Manufacturers must implement 90-degree baffled vents that allow airflow while trapping external light waves, and apply totally opaque potting compounds over every sensitive optical component. Industry organizations are currently pushing to update protocols, like the ETSI GS-QKD008 standard. These updates explicitly mandate that no hardware can have direct or scattered line of sight from the exterior casing to internal optical elements. Expensive internal wavelength filters and optical monitors offer no protection if the engineers leave a literal hole in the sheet metal protecting the core. The foundational promise of quantum cryptography assumes that flawless mathematics yield flawless security. But mathematical proofs cannot account for hardware engineering oversights. A cryptographic system designed to remain secure against an adversary with infinite computational power can be entirely compromised by a commercially available pulsed laser or a handheld flashlight shining through a cooling vent. Mathematical security does not exist in a vacuum. In deployed infrastructure, the physical boundary of the hardware is the only true cryptographic boundary.